You're mute.
Mute. What's cracking? Y'all still mute?
Nope.
Do people even say cracking still?
No.
No,
Turn your- What they say?
What they say, Bree? Cause you
what's up?
they just say what's up.
What's
Hey, I
up?
was out west yesterday, G. I was in the trenches.
Please.
Please chill out.
I was in the trenches. Relax. I was in K Town. Nah, I was.
No.
I was in the trenches. Relax. Please don't
The
play
one
with
thing
me.
that irritates me is my friends call me just because they're out. They act like, hey, I just meet me in Disney World.
It is like going. It is like It is like going to Disney World. Y'all just got rides. Y'all got characters. This is a whole. It's a whole thing. And y'all food trash. It's, it's like going to Disney World.
The
The
only
only
thing
thing
I
I
do
do
is
is I
it's trash.
You say what now?
Only
only
thing
thing
that
that
I
we
do
really
is
is
trash.
Nah, okay. How was y'all weekend though? Besides me kicking it out west, how was y'all doing?
my week. Shout out to Chef Tina Gray, celebrated 10 years of her catering business. Announced yesterday she's starting a nonprofit for children, the Ruby Foundation, to help children in food deserts learn more about cooking, nutrition. So it was cool. What's the word popped out to that for a second. Um, made a couple appearances and came back to the crib.
Shout out to Shelter in the Gray. I feel like I met her a few times. Really cool.
Yeah, Tina cool as hell. She's very authentic. So I appreciate people like that.
Bree, what's up with you? What happened with you?
What did I do this weekend? Oh, I hosted an R&B party
That looked too
at
fun.
Chop Shop. It was very fun. I don't have too much like fun when I go to events. Like I have fun, but it don't be like, yo, this is great. That one, top tier.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
That was my line, but okay.
Hey, don't worry about this. This is shake and bake right here. Be on top of this.
It was a joke, boss. It's all right.
That's all right.
Stop calling him boss.
Yes, ma'am.
It's weird.
Okay, so we're not gonna make this a weird cast today. We're gonna have a good show. We're gonna chop it up and we're gonna talk about some things. Um, Kicking into it. How we want to start out today? You know what I mean? I wanted to start off with this is our first show coming back from Thanksgiving, right?
Yes.
But
Okay,
we
so
did a show last week, didn't we?
Yes.
it was the day before Thanksgiving. This is our first straight though coming out of Thanksgiving. So like, how was Thanksgiving for y'all? What did y'all do? Like, what was it with the fam? Like, what was up?
Thanksgiving was cool. I thought I had to work, but then they texted me at like 1 o'clock and was like, "Hey, you don't gotta come in." So
Nice.
I chilled. I didn't really drink or nothing because I'm fasting. Spent some time with my cousins. Ate good. That's it.
That sounds like perfect.
It was very relaxing.
My Thanksgiving, it was cool. I think the best way to describe it was different. So I don't really have much to say. I did not see a lot of family, but I saw the ones most important to me. So I'm grateful for that and just found my way through. It was different this year. Had a lot of family changes, a lot of life changes, and it was very like evident in Thanksgiving. But I can't complain.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Oh, it be the holidays, man. It be the holidays.
They different when you grow, man. This
For
shit ain't.
sure.
I want Santa Claus back. I want dinner at grandma's house and everybody and their mama in that bitch. Like, but you grow up and it says why it's important as you get older. Like holidays remind you why it's important to create your own family, start your own traditions, and do the things that make you happy.
I agree.
This the shit nobody prepared you for. I tell you that.
For being an adult.
Yeah, and like just how happiness is really on you. Like what holidays look like is really on you once you reach a certain age. You know what I mean? Like as kids, all we have to do is show up, and like you think it's gonna be like that forever. But you get older and you see it ain't. You know, unless you take that responsibility or you lucky enough to have a family large enough that gives a shit. You know.
That's valid. You know what I'm saying? Not having that mom or that aunt or that grandma that everybody know, like we at her house. Like
Yeah.
I think we as a people we started to take that shit for granted. Like damn, like we know auntie finna throw down or we know grandma finna throw down. Like we looking
Yeah.
forward to it. It's like you be dreading it. Like it's Thanksgiving. I gotta go be my cousins. They finna be doing ghetto shit. You miss the ghetto shit.
I do. I want all the ghetto shit.
Right, you need to get those shit on your
Right.
like
It's
you
a
have.
good balance, man.
Yeah, like I was watching what's dude name Desi Banks, the black dude, D
Mm.
Banks, and he had like a skit like it basically was like white Air Force One versus black Air
Yep.
Force Ones at the holiday. And you missed like you like how he was saying like one dude come in, he fly, all the family, they make sure he eat like he just then you got the bad cousin that get drunk, that do the most, that's smoking the weed, that got the guns, that everybody just waiting for his ass to leave. Like you miss that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And as a person that was probably was white and black Air Force Ones, depending on what family I went to, I miss that shit.
Not you was both.
Right. Like,
Yeah, both.
no, that's good as hell. So I don't know, man. It's officially holiday season though, so
Yeah,
send everybody love and maybe Christmas will be better for us. Who knows?
yeah. I think this holiday season, I think this holiday season is kind of been opening my mind into a lot of answers I've been looking for this whole year.
Like what?
Um, just as far as the type of person I'm looking to be, how I want to go about the businesses I run, and just the people I want in my life.
You want us in your life?
Keep me out that conversation. That's between you and him. I tried to tell before we got on here, y'all. I tried to tell Cody that he is the luckiest man in the world today. He got the two best friends anybody could have hosting the show with him, and he ain't say nothing back. I was trying to tell you go play the lottery. This your lucky day, and look at you, fake low energy. I'm gonna need more. I need more.
2024.
I know I got 31 more days till I'm fired, so I'm just gonna sit
She
here.
literally called me yesterday. It was like, what was it yesterday or the day before? Like, yo, I know I got 30 days left, so can we talk about my
I
ex?
did. What's the exit plan?
Don't worry, I'll host your exit interview, Bree, and I'm
Thank
taking
you.
everything into consideration.
Nah.
Did he ignore the fact I told him I got PTSD because I've been fired from What's the Word before?
Do
He
the
gonna
people
say that
know
was
that?
like 7 years ago.
Boy, that stuff don't leave you. What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
That stuff do not leave you.
Oh my god.
Trauma, trauma,
She never
trauma.
she never left. She always been fam.
But no, that's valid though, as far as like the businesses and stuff. And I was gonna say, I feel like that's been a theme in a lot of horoscopes lately. I think is Cancer a cardinal sign? I don't know. I gotta Google that. But if you're a cardinal sign, that sounds very aligned to what they've been saying about horoscopes. Because I think Aries is, and that's been mine. Like
Oh, who sign?
cardinal.
Okay, because
What
I didn't.
that
I just
means?
assumed everybody
I
knew.
just
I
know
don't
I'll be
know what
watching the TikTok videos, but your son, all that. But that's good predictions for 2024, and I feel like when 2023 has been as rocky, as it's been, that's only preparing you for the next level. At least is how I look at it for myself. I already know 2024 about to go nuts. I'm so excited. 2024 got to book me for a show. That's my theme for the year. Stay tuned.
I think I'm stepping back into Cody.
What does that mean?
who is Cody.
Um, I don't know. I think I'm stepping back into like myself. Like I realized that I want to say for like the past few years, I've been more passive and just letting people and trying to be more inclusive. I've tried to be more inclusive with people ideas, people input, leave it up to people to like I like to call it a sports to Phil Jackson approach and allow people to figure things out and let people do. when it comes to just even with business or just in my life. And I realized I didn't get to where I was at by doing that.
That's
So,
big growth right there. I'm hella proud to hear that because
so
you gotta talk, you gotta take control.
yeah. So I realized that, and it was literally an incident that happened like a couple of days ago that I realized, I'm like, you know what? I'm saying, in order to get things, a lot of people right now they say in our positions we have this thing called imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just was aware of my imposter syndrome.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have imposter syndrome. And I think that's probably my imposter syndrome. And I think the brick wall I've always hit is when I get to that spot. And the only reason why I feel like I never can get over it because I be so dependent on the pieces around to like, yo, let's do this.
Yeah.
Opposed to like, nah, I ain't get to where I was at by waiting on people to get shit done. I just get shit done. And
I wish Jay was here. It sound like you've been doing your shadow work. She would be so proud.
I want to say shadow work. I just been in isolation, man. Really having time
Yeah,
to
shitting on my jokes. That was a
isolate.
ha moment.
You're not funny.
That's okay. There's many people who disagree.
Ooh,
That's
wee.
all right.
You're
You
not
don't have to think I'm funny. Everybody else does, sweetie.
You're funny looking, but you're not funny.
Oh, okay. Remember that.
I remember that.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
It'd be like that. You still my G though.
I'll pass. I don't need the affirmation. We can keep going. What's next on the Run Show?
Yeah, you know why you don't be listen. This my show. Don't scoop me along, okay?
Ooh, now this your show.
Yeah, I'm back.
Hmm. If this is what Cody is, I don't know.
Nah, you'll love it.
You
You'll learn
know,
to love
because
No, we'll
I'm
see.
not claiming
I
nothing that's
think my last
temporary.
day might be with Bree.
it.
Stay tuned. I think Bree. I think I'm different with you.
I'm not claiming nothing that's temporary.
Hello.
You don't need to. Come on. Is it on this side or is it pointed this way? Which way Bree on? I don't know
I'm
which.
dead.
But where I'm looking and where I'm pointing, I don't know. But you don't need to talk. As many as times you've been showing your little hints like you know I'm out
What?
I'm out this joint.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to get people prepared and do it the right way. I like to exit gracefully.
As
No,
you should.
no,
Like
that's
a real
respectful.
star.
That's respectful. But nah, but yeah, I think that's what it is though. I think that's what it is. I think that imposter syndrome that we all have in our respective fields and what we do. Um I think it's just now just getting back into just getting shit done. Like it really just taking that mindset of like asking for forgiveness instead of always asking for permission. Yeah, not gonna just say we have a lot of us been stagnant and soft. Personally speaking, I've been soft. So I'm ready. Holiday season from turning a whole new it turned a whole new beast on. So
I hope that means you're gonna be nice though, because I feel like
Bree, you a mind reader today. I just can't say the things you can say. You can say shit to him, stuff it to
as
him.
soon
I
as
can't.
you said a whole new beast, I'm up
Big
because
P.
it's gonna get mean again.
me,
Oop, I'm leaving with you.
what you what do you mean? I think as one of our closest friends, you got the right you got the platform to say it. What you mean?
Because sometimes, Cody, I feel like you don't go through phases, but I've seen you grow um, in different ways in your leadership over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I.e., I remember there was a time when we first like started the infrastructure of like me and Dre and the other girl that you put with us that we wasn't really too fond of.
Bree.
And you was like very, oh, I'm just gonna tell y'all what to do, and y'all just figure out how to do it
Oh no.
with
That
no
creates so much
direction.
chaos. Yeah.
Huh?
I said that creates a lot of chaos, and that's not me like doubling down on Cody at all, because he and I have had this conversation. But I've worked in other environments where like it's really hard. One thing I'll say to like give a little bit of grace, and I affirm what you're saying, Brie, about like seeing the growth in Cody, is it's hard being a creative like and a CEO. You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
there's
for
a whole
sure.
side of logistics that you have to be aware of, but your creative mind will dominate so much and you'll feel so overwhelmed. You do just want people on your team that could just figure it out, right? But as a leader, you have to take the responsibility, especially when it's a small business, especially when it's your business. This is something that comes from your brain. You have to hold it down for longer than you would think, like actual years, to be able to walk people through what the how looks like before you just release it and be like, okay, now y'all do it. You know, you
But
could tell me what
and
to do all day long, but you can't tell me what to do, expect me to figure out the how, and then when I do it my way, all you do is criticize.
And I think I think we're in a good space now. Like I'm ready for this Cody 2.0 because I think he understands, especially with you being on the team, Cindy. Like I commend you for a lot of the conversations that you and Cody have. Thank
Thank
you for that. Thank you for being in our lives. I think we're ready for this Cody 2.0. We just have to get prepared for how mean you're gonna get because you are gonna get mean.
Um, me, I wouldn't say me, right? Because over you got to think about it over the grace of time. Over the grace of time, how many time? No, I don't even like want to. I don't want to use nothing old somebody did for like a you did is now it's my turn to do it. So no, I'm not gonna say that. So what I'm gonna say is that I'm gonna be more so like I realized the most efficient way to get things done and realizing what it is that you can't hold any one hand, right? So that's the first thing. No one, you cannot hold nobody hand, right? Um, and this is just a conversation that I just had with I have with Cosign and I have with Books. Um, and the main topic, the main thing you got from that conversation is in order to grow the people around you got to have that same motive and be willing to put that same work you trying to do right. And that's in any aspects of your life. That's like dealing with family, that's doing anything. Like if you're growing, the people around you got to be willing to grow with you. You know what I'm saying? So they can't see you as like, oh, this is what you did in 2015, 2014. Like those conversations shouldn't even be a thing. You know what I'm saying? We got to acknowledge the now. You know what I'm saying? Or at least the last 6 to 9 months. So that's the first thing. Like, so like I said, I never throw some old shit somebody did because we all learning, right? But you can't hold people's hand, right? People got the motive and they want to actually do the work in any form. Like you give them grace, but they have to want to show up. They gotta want to hold themselves accountable. They got to do that because if you don't hold yourself accountable and you're not showing up and you're not communicating, you from a leadership standpoint, you got to understand like, yo, you're not doing a job, so we got to find somebody to do the job. And I think that's the point that may come off me, right? Because it's like I I'm giving you grace, you know what I mean? The love is there, but if you can't do the job, I'd rather you not do the job and me and you still be cool, opposed to you not doing the job right, and then that's when somebody get mad.
I think everything you said is accurate, and I loved how you ended that.
But it just don't apply
But
to
I
me.
don't think, yeah, I don't think that's on me, because
Hmm?
that's not mean. That's logical, right? It's not what you do. Everything you just described was the what and the way things should be, and that's accurate. It's how you do it. So like I think I don't know. I can't speak for Bree, but I know like if I ever tell you mean, it's because of how you say some shit, bro. Like you be saying some shit, and I be letting you rock, and then you criticize me for letting you rock. So it's just like you can't. I don't me speaking from my own experience. More often than I feel like I can't win for losing with you. So after a certain point, you have to realize people stop trying. And
I
then
know I be mean too, though. Like,
I agree with that too. I love you, Bree, but you do be mean as hell too.
I know it's honestly in my nature, and like if you don't like point me out about it, sometimes I really don't think I'm being mean. I think I'm being a little honest, a little too honest maybe. But yeah, I feel like me and Cody, even with business, like we'll have like a screaming match, and then come back and be like, okay, this is what happened. This is how we fix it. I have to apologize for saying this. I have to apologize for saying that. Um, but sometimes in business, it just don't. It don't work like that.
It's good y'all got that comeback. I think, and it's good that that works for y'all dynamic. Me, don't scream at me. We ain't gonna get too far. Because if I gotta start screaming at you back, nah, it's gonna be real hard to reel it in.
But
Like,
we don't get to that point too often though.
good, good, good. And I'm not judging that y'all do. If it works for y'all, it works for y'all. I'm just speaking for me. Damn, Chelsea, I be mean too. Y'all been calling me mean since day one. I don't think I'm mean. I think that there was just a certain level of sternness and accountability that wasn't present on the team that unfortunately I brought to the forefront. So I get labeled as mean.
You just complimented the hell out yourself.
I mean, and you know what?
I was
Pulling me from the stream
because
is
this is
crazy.
not like this is not come at each other day. So
No, we're not coming at each other.
no,
I feel
no,
like
no,
we're
no,
taking
no,
accountability.
because it's something in that it's something in that statement. Um, Cindy has brought a different level of sternness. I'll give her that.
For sure. Like
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
say,
even
I'm
think
gonna
me
say
and
this.
Cindy could be friends when she first came on because I was like, oh, she about her
Wait,
business.
that's the story of my life. Why do y'all be hating me so much?
I don't hate you. I just feel like you and I feel like the time you was coming in, I was in my fun girl era. Like this is
Oh
fun.
yeah, yeah.
You came in like, look, it's business. This is what we're doing. This
I ain't got
ABCD.
time
So
to
I'm
waste,
like,
baby. Let's get to it.
okay, yeah, you was getting to it. I respected it though. Like I admired it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think. I mean, yeah, Cindy. I think it's just room to grow in that and the personality realm of just being personable and being cool.
You know what's funny about you saying that though? I think, and I don't know how this then turned into
A friendship
a
therapy.
lemon squeeze with each other. But I think to address what you just said, Cody, I agree with you. But I think that's been your feedback for so long that you don't even acknowledge the growth that I've made in that area. I think you consistently repeat that same statement and that feedback to me, and it from a business standpoint, screw friendship. From a business standpoint, that's discouraging because it's like when you get your end of the year review and you sit down, your boss is like, you get A+ on everything except don't nobody like your ass. So now you find a balance, to be more likable and to be these things. But then you show up 6 months later and you're getting the same feedback. But even the people on the team around feel different. Like it would feel good for you to acknowledge the growth that I have made before telling me to just grow some more. And I
I
think
love
that's
fun girl
feedback as a
Cindy.
boss.
I feel like if you listen to what I said everything you said. When you complimented how big you complimented yourself.
Y'all not going down, but like this is what we're not
I
gonna do.
listen. I definitely said all it is
Y'all are making me sound very
When Bree
arrogant
said
right
what she had to say. All I said is City dope is dope. It's just always room for growth. And you took that of saying that I have not acknowledged nothing you just said and nothing you did was growth.
It's not what I said. But
Which
I'm happy that this conversation is happening in front of the World Wide Web right now because I think other people will get to see and we'll have witnesses to the things that we go through daily. That's all.
But I will say this. I will say, I would just say everybody has room to grow, and I would say that one thing I want to add to the repertoire of just being a leader is that understanding that some people need acknowledgement, right? It's a difference between giving somebody grace and some people just need they stickers, right? And we in a generation where and not even a generation, just at times where everybody wants to just be every once in a while told that they're doing a good job instead of something being like this is the standard. And I think we was just talking about this in the meeting on Monday. We had talking to someone like I don't know what was I think it was in the meeting on Monday. We was talking about what sometimes people grow up, and it's like, yo, they want to be like. Sometimes you got to let somebody know that like what they're doing is not just the 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 standard. Like sometimes people need to know what they're doing is good. Like you just like that's like going to school, like getting good grades. Like if I get straight A's, you should as a parent, like, yo, I got straight A's. Like, let me know I did a good job. Don't look at it like, well, that's what you're supposed to do next. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I think that's like the next level of leadership that, okay, you got to start acknowledging people for certain things. Like, okay, so you do it. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? Because in my and my way of thinking, and also in the way of thinking of just doing like billionaire status, right? So like listening, reading, going through a lot of billionaires, their mindset is, yo, you don't get when you do the things you're supposed to do, you just do it, right? And it's a difference between being a billionaire at a status where you only deal with billionaire shit and you move like them in that mindset, opposed to when you're doing day to day leadership. So I think I'm still in a day to day leadership with a mindset of a hierarchy leadership type thing. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody be like, and it's just all around the board in anything you do, right? Like if somebody cook you dinner and make you food, if your wife cook you dinner and make you food, like you can't walk around with the mindset of like, yo, that's what she was supposed to do. Like I worked hard and like she was supposed to do that. Like you gotta acknowledge it, like, yo, baby, thank you for the food. This was good, shit like that. Like same thing with like you just need that acknowledgement. So I think when you're doing working with day to day people, I think people need acknowledgement of like, yo, you know what, you got the graphics done on time, good job. Opposed to it being like, yo, that's what you were supposed to do. Like, why is we even acknowledging that the shit is on time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I think things happen in phases too. I think especially early on, like I think one place a lot of leaders go wrong is not taking the time to make that kind of space during the onboarding process. Like as if you do that stuff during the onboarding process and you affirm someone who's new and like you're as much as you're paying attention to where they can grow into the team, you're also paying attention to how they're complementing the team off back over time. If you miss a time for saying like, oh, thanks for getting the graphics done, it doesn't even matter because you've already set the precedent where they already understand that they're appreciated. And I
especially if
think,
they're doing their job right.
yeah, and
We were just talking about this.
yeah, I think a lot of leaders need to understand how important, how imperative that phase is and showing up in a space. And actually, I want to take something I said back. At least for Brie, Cody, I don't think you're mean all the time, but I do think you're mean sometimes. There's a difference. I think other times maybe it's just what you're saying, like you're just one track minded in another area. Brie, I don't know if I ever even actually think you're mean. I think it's just I've learned to know your moods. I've learned to know like how you may or may not show up in certain environments, or like you said, like you might have been in one space, I'm in another. So it ain't even that you mean. I just think that it maybe be a energy day. I just got to know how Bree feeling today. And the reason I wanted to clear up the word is because I don't really think nobody on the team is mean. I think there's different ways. Like looking at Shay comment, like I come off mean sometimes. That's cool. Coming off mean and being mean are two different things. You know what I mean? But I think Cody, what made me just think of it, what you said was just about making that space for people's feelings, understanding the importance of that. And I think that, you know, that's what, as people, especially on a team, you have to do. Like, and when you don't make space for people's feelings and you're just so focused on the work or you're so focused on whatever, that's what feels mean. So if I ever do come in and I'm business, 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 I feel like at the end of the day, y'all know we gonna talk shit and we gonna make sure everybody's feeling okay, and maybe there's room to grow to start with it that way. You know what I mean? Like, but I think we need to be careful with the words we use to label each other with, because that's not always the case.
True. Everybody don't the some words, and I learned this over the weekend too. What a word may mean to you and how you use the word is different how somebody receives it, right? So I could be like, man, it's like the word decent in Chicago. The word decent mean like 3, 4 different things depending on what you're saying and how you're saying it. You know what I'm saying? But if you go outside the city and you say decent to somebody like, yo, man, them shit's decent, they then are gonna think you just downplaying whatever they just did. Because decent in most places mean like mediocre. Most people receive it as mediocre. So I think that has a real big, like what you said, like the verbiage do it has a real big thing too. But I just also know like you gotta know who you working with and know who the people you're around. Like if you're going into spaces and you're spending time in spaces and you don't have the you know what I'm saying, if you ain't really kind of really figured out like the people you're around and how to navigate the people you're around, well then that says a lot about how you operate life. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point in time, you should know like the energy and the spaces. Because even when working with What's the Word, you should know by now. If you working with us, you should know this is a safe space, right? Like we curate a safe environment for everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? We don't create a safe environment for everybody.
I didn't say we didn't.
Listen, man. This is all this Diddy shit going on. I need to know, man. What's going on behind the scenes? What are y'all doing in these chats?
This
Man.
space is safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just got to know that type of shit. Then you just got to know shit like know. You got to just really also you got to just like with me like I ain't even not gonna lie to you. I probably will never sit there and compliment somebody on every little thing they do. I will not do it. And I would probably say that
It would be strange if anybody did that. I don't think
yeah,
it's
You don't
every
have to do
single
that.
thing.
if
Yeah.
you know me, if you're doing a good job at something, I'm the first person when the conversations is going off, especially with people in other rooms that's not the team. I'm the first person to I'll bring your name up. Like, yeah, this person is dope with this. You should hire this person.
I
Or
do affirm that you good for that in other rooms, but I think the part that matters is it's the same example you gave. You could tell your homies, your family, whoever about how great your wife is and how she cook you dinner every night, but if you never tell it to her or you hardly ever tell it to her first, what good does that do her? You know, she you know you feel that way. Everybody else in the world know you feel this way, but that person don't or your team doesn't because you ain't said shit to them.
and it goes back to just be back to when I told you earlier, I'm being back to Cody. If I'm still relying on you to do a job, just know you're doing a good job at what you're doing.
So
And I'm,
basically, you're regressing, is what you
no,
just said.
I'm gonna send a
Now you're taking a
I'm
step
gonna
back.
send a company email out or in the chat like, hey team, if you in 2024, if I'm still relying on you to do something for the company and we still need you around, just know you're doing a good job.
See, that's the kind of I don't like them kind of environments where you got to know, like how you know you got friends or you dealing with somebody and you know they love you, you know they appreciate you, but you don't feel it. I'm cool on that. That take too much emotional work and mental breakdowns and nah. Say how you feel and show how you feel. Otherwise,
You you know how you feel. Like you ain't I
I
think
don't know shit. I'm not in your head.
you
You got to tell me, baby.
I'm gonna take me and my dog Chelsea for example, right? I probably work with Chelsea probably at the most capacity than anybody, right? In my life, I probably work with her the most. Like in a 24 hour span, I'm probably doing interacting with Chelsea the most out of anybody when it comes to a lot of shit because we just work together on so many projects, right? Yo, when Chelsea's not, if I'm not okay, if Chelsea's not okay, if there's something going on, like due to time that we working and we talk, I'm pretty sure we express to each other how we feel each other, or you did a good job, or that's why I say Chelsea, me and Chelsea got a good work chemistry because Chelsea will tell me you just fucked up and get your shit together, but like, all right, G, I fucked up and get my shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like we have those conversations and that chemistry, and it'd be vice versa. Like Chelsea, why you ain't do that, G? Or Chelsea, you know you tweaked on that. But all right, let's get it better. We correct each other and we keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So if you're interacting with somebody and the chemistry is there, y'all really putting in. If y'all really doing the work and y'all really doing the thing, I think the conversation of what you're doing and how you're doing will always come up.
Okay, Cordell.
The thing is, I don't know. You correct this week. It's a show.
I
You
don't think you're wrong because I think there's validity to what you said, but it still don't negate my point of also it's good. It's a good thing to be intentional because it easily works for you and Chelsea because you just said y'all talk the most out of anybody. But if you're not having as many conversations with me or with Bree or with Shay or whoever else or Seal or whoever else is on the team, then you as a leader have to be intentional to make sure all the people I just named still feel that you appreciate their work and I see the good they're doing. Because if we don't talk as often, I'm naturally not going to hear it according to the breakdown you just gave, which is cool. So if that means the next conversation we have is only you hitting me up because I fucked something up, I don't want to hear that shit. I mean, I got to hear it's my job, right? I'm going to fix it. But my point is like, be intentional.
So this
That's
goes
all.
back. I get what they're being intentional, but it also just goes back to what I said, right? If you're doing the job, if you're putting in the work and you're doing a job or anything you're doing, that means that we're going to communicate, right? So in the fact that if you put in that work and we're communicating, we're going to communicate, and those words of like how you're doing, how you perform is going to happen through communication.
But
Okay.
there are people that you communicate less with than others.
And that's because they're not working extensively as with me as others, right?
But those people probably still need that affirmation and that confirmation of, hey, I'm doing a good job. Because I know some employees may feel like, well, I don't call them employees, some members may feel like, hey, I don't have that close of a relationship to Cody to be like, how am I doing right now?
And that's one thing I'll say. Like, I understand from a leadership standpoint, you want to see who takes initiative. You know what I mean? Like, I get all that. And I don't think that's a bad thing. You should pay attention to your team in that way. But from a leadership standpoint, you also have to be aware enough to know the environment you're creating. Like, Cody, I think you're cool. I think everybody on the team think you cool. Like, you crack jokes, like whatever. But there's maybe times where people, you still feel unapproachable to them. It might not mean in real life you're unapproachable, but you can in their reality, they don't know the best way to approach you. So I think leaders do themselves a disservice always waiting for their team members to come up to them and say X, Y, and Z. Like, you have to be intentional about making that space. You have, and even if it's not you, maybe that's a part of my role, and maybe it's implemented into, monthly check-ins or whatever the case may be. Like, there's 100 different thousand ways to be intentional about it, and I'm just saying pick one.
But I will say, I think Cody did like a couple weeks ago hit like the Buzzers group chat. I think it was the Buzzers group chat because I do remember like feeling a little appreciated when he did. I think he did like hit the Buzzers and was like, "Hey, I want to have a one-on-one with all y'all."
Hmm. And
And I
that's
was
that's
like,
that's the
"Oh,
perfect
that's
example.
right." And I thought that was perfect because literally, probably like 2 weeks before that, I know a couple of them was saying like, I don't know Cody like that. I don't know Cindy like that. Like Renzo was very excited for Cindy to pop up last night at What's the Buzz because he was like, I don't know Cindy like that. Like
That's my
I'm kind of
boy.
excited. Like I feel like I gotta do my best tonight because Cindy pulling up. And I appreciate that with y'all, especially with the buzzers, because they like, they the babies.
And that's what I mean about like doing that. I think that's a perfect example. So now all you gotta do just be consistent. Maybe we have check-ins with higher staff or whatever you want to label it once a month or something. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of thing with the exec team. Like, when you roll that out consistently, watch the magic it does for your team and the aura around it and the workflow.
Nah,
You're doing a
I've
great
seen him
job,
do that
Cody. Okay, let's
with
talk
no,
about
we
you.
not. So what we not gonna do? What
That's
we
not
not?
hand holding. That's not nothing. And you know what?
No, no,
It's
that's not even handhold. That's not what I was about to say. What I was,
I just literally
I was
proved your
about to
point, and now
say,
you're telling me what we're not gonna do.
what we not gonna do is what we're not going to do is we're not gonna put we're not gonna put a construct on how to uh to build chemistry and be cool. We're not gonna put that, like, we're not gonna what I've seen to know that works on like building chemistry and building like with your team is you showing up and being your authentic self. I think the only thing that's really like why it's still that little gray area space because post COVID everything has been remote.
I'm gonna have to hard disagree with you. I do agree with the piece of, showing up and being your authentic self. That works, and that works on this team specifically. And I try to tell the team all the time that the environment here, what's the word? Cherish it, because it's very rare that you find this kind of environment where you can be your authentic self in any other business space, whether it's all black or not. So I think this is a very blessed and sacred space for sure. And it works because we get to show up as ourselves. However, the gaps in workflow or the gaps in communication or whatever else, it comes from lack of construct. And I think the thing that you and I disagree on so much that I just can't seem to wrap my head around is why you're so against construct in certain areas. I'm not saying we have to show up and these have to be these formal check-ins and we need checklists and we need this and we don't need none of that shit. But to just simply say, hey, maybe the first Friday of every month, I'm gonna meet with everybody for 15 minutes, check in, see how you feeling about your role. You can show up in that 15-minute time slot as your authentic self, but having that consistency, that scheduled time, it there's a psychology to it, bro, that gives people a space to know if something bad happens this month at work and I don't know how to talk about it. I know for sure I got a guaranteed safe space when I meet with Cody at the end of the month for 15 minutes. And it does wonders for people's workflow and how they're able to compartmentalize and still show up until they're able to get their shit off when they get to talk to you. Or like even how me and Bree are always talking to you about team nights. Like that stuff's important because that naturally builds character. And
that that works. That works. I give you that. But don't schedule no 15 minutes with me to talk about no
no,
sex.
they don't have to meet with you. They can meet with me because I don't think you understand. Like it ain't about you personally. It's about that system being implemented into your business.
Nah,
And I say this as someone who's worked on other teams, larger teams, like different styles of teams, corporate and in media, and it works. Like I've implemented it myself, and it works, bro. And I don't understand why you be shooting stuff down before you even really see the value.
listen, if your team that's who watching, do not schedule no 15 minutes.
Nobody want to talk to you, no way.
Like
They can text you anytime. They already said it. You already said it.
Everybody want to talk to me. Come on now, let's be real. It's me.
Can we talk about?
I think I'm logging off early today.
It's me. But no, all jokes aside, you know what I'm saying? Just all jokes aside, and just, you know what I mean, you got to create content. All jokes aside, I do agree with you that you do need organized team building exercises if you want to grow in capacity, and you also have organized things to allow people to have safe spaces. So, yes, so I agree with you. All jokes aside, like I can sit here and joke and get on your skin all day, but all jokes aside, I agree with you. But Bree don't set the Bree. If I see 15 minutes on my calendar,
I be having some things to say.
I swear to God, I'll put you in the headlock.
All right.
But nah, I think Cindy, all your points were valid. You see, man.
All right, so now that we've had a company lemon squeeze in front of the whole wide world, what's next?
For 43 minutes.
Literally, it's absolutely insane.
I think that was a good conversation.
I think so. I hope other leaders take from it. Other business people.
We didn't talk bad about nobody. We didn't tell nobody personal business. We just kept it a buck about how we able to do what we do. We ain't got no scandals. Ain't nobody out there on no podcast. Ain't nobody making no Instagram stories about fuck them over there.
Oh, I got a big middle finger a couple times last night from What's the Buzz, but
you say what?
Yeah. Real Poppy Coco is coming for me on What's the Buzz.
That's his name is Bree's husband, and you wasn't.
He submitted a song under Bree's husband,
and you should have gave that man that credit. Why is you stunning on your husband?
He got mad because I didn't put the song on the list and made a whole story about it.
Yeah, we gotta do for love. We gotta have our when we have our meet and Bree. Make sure we detail for the love.
Child, then he DMs me talk about, can we end this beef? I could get your nails done. So I don't need nothing from you.
So what's funny though? He on. This is excellent marketing. Like he know what he doing.
He know exactly what he doing.
He know what he doing.
So speaking of that, right? So he coming at you this way, making a song for you. Gonna get your nails done, your feet done. What are your expectations on your first date, right? Because remember,
I did not think that was on the running show for today.
It was on the running show for today. You just came to pre-production late.
What are my expectations on the first date?
Yeah, because you remember, we posted on the site about a young lady. She went viral because she was explaining her first date, and she was like, "Yo, this is weird."
Yeah, I was just talking about this on air yesterday, actually.
And when I opened the door, my man was at my front door, and I was like, "Oh, like right." And then he hit me with the Rico. He pulled the flowers out, and I was like, "Wow, this is different, right?" So I'm not even paying attention. I brush past this, trying to walk down the steps and get to the door, right? Because I'm not paying attention. I'm just so not used to it, and it just hasn't, like, I just didn't have a lot of practice. He opened my car door. I get inside. He closed the door. I immediately went to my group chat. It's weird. Did you say he opened your car door? High five. No. Now let me explain, right? Let me explain. By the time we got to the restaurant, my follow-up text was, y'all, that's my bad. I just realized and all that stuff we be talking about, we don't really want it. And I felt like he technically did everything that we be saying we be wanting. In my mind, instinctively, my first thought was he corny. But he really did everything that we want. But I went on a first date.
Ladies, I'm gonna let y'all take it away.
Yeah,
I think I think it was kind of bittersweet that she wasn't expecting that from him because I feel like a lot of times we have these expectations on when we like trying to get to know people instead of just getting to know people, that it kind of taints us from really like just wholeheartedly embracing that person for who they are. So I do think it was kind of good that she wasn't expecting all that because it probably made her like him a little more. But also, when I was talking about it yesterday on air, it was given like you've never been on a date with a man, you know, brought flowers. You've never been around anybody, not even your father, that opened the door for you. Or even if you was just like walking into a restaurant by yourself and there was a guy right there, like, oh, let me get that door for you, type thing. Like those are just like I feel like normal chivalrous tactics that I feel like every man should do. I blame bad parenting, so I feel like she shouldn't have been that surprised. But I am glad that she went back and was like, okay, he's not weird. I just need to embrace what he's doing for me.
I definitely appreciate her level of self awareness. I think I don't know, but you know what? It's funny that you say bad parenting because I definitely could see that. Because even the part that caught me the most off guard was like even being thrown off. How she just mentioned how she just like walked past him, like everything about how she described it just felt really rude. And I don't do well with rude people, so it's like how you even if you were thrown off, like hello, you know what I mean? Like it just it's something off there. But I appreciate that she came back and she was like, I ain't shit. I need to work on myself. I need to figure these things out. And it almost didn't give insecure, like she didn't feel she was deserving of these things. Like it didn't feel like imposter syndrome. It just felt like, to your point, she's never experienced this. And it also is giving she doesn't really know how to communicate when she is in positions of like confusing feelings or new situations. So I hope she digs that deep because that's kind of what it gives off. But I agree with you. I feel like all that like that's basic. Like I actually had an opposite experience this year. Like I had somebody insist on picking me up and doing all these things and no flowers. But it was also very, y'all, it was so like bipolar. Like 1 second it was like you ain't got no flowers, you ain't even really open the door for real. But then like was super gentleman. It was very crazy. I don't know. So I say, sis, count your blessings. And I hope that she is self aware enough to. I don't understand his face, Cordero, but I hope she's self aware enough, to keep doing the work because it sounded like he did to your point the bare minimum. Like those are standard things. You feel me? Like
I
my
also
male friends,
feel
open
like,
the door for me. You see this door, you see this group of women. Like what's to it? That's not even a romantic thing. It's being a gentleman.
and watching it back again, I was kind of the thought came in my head of maybe she really didn't want to go out with him, so she wasn't expecting him to
I'm
show
glad
up.
y'all got that. That's what I was waiting on. I was waiting on y'all to get to that point.
So after like the fourth very chivalrous gesture, and it clicked in her head that this is actually a better man than you initially thought. That's when she was like, okay, let me loosen up. Let me show him some love. He not
Because
weird. He
she
not.
probably felt the different energy subconsciously. It sounded like one of them things like he came up to you. This ain't even a dude you really used to, but you gonna go anyway. But you
Mm-hmm.
already kind of made it in your head. You know what I mean? So now you acting a certain way, and then you realize like, damn, I'm being mean. Like I'm blocking blessings. Like so
Yeah, I really think she did. She really didn't want to go on a date with him at first, but
yeah.
he kind of like
Because
warmed
when you
up.
do, you kind of watching every little thing they do, and yeah. So
Nah, I think y'all have both kind of hit on the head. Yeah, dude wasn't giving off that energy, and she just really took the date because she wanted to get out the house and get a free meal. And when he gave her that energy, it caught her off guard. Like
Sometimes that's how you meet your husband, though. You gotta be open to
Okay, I
freedom.
don't nigga give me
you
some.
can call, that's all that was. Just call him off guard. But I do think it's a that really kind of like kind of really like kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. Like even with the flowers situation, right? I'm not even gonna lie to you. Every woman that I've given flowers to, I always got into it with them.
That has nothing to do with flowers.
Literally, I think you get into it.
I think like Larry, and I think it just relates to when
Don't
you.
project on flowers.
I think we all be projecting a lot of this shit, but I
Not
think,
on no damn flowers.
but every time I've been like nice and considerate, but it's in my DNA to be like nice when it comes to women. Like every time I be nice and be a gentleman and like just take care and try to nurture and do all that good shit, it's like yo, me and the young lady always get into it. But whenever you are an asshole, and men speak on this all the time, but every when you an asshole to them, it's like they gravitate you to even more. So I can
That
see.
is
I think it's, and I think this is where we have. So you remember at the time when we were talking about just like different calibers of women, and this isn't to put a certain caliber of women down at all, because I think there was one time we were saying that, and I saw Bree in the comments like, "Damn, Cindy, like I wasn't even being mean to Cody, to the women he dates, to it wasn't even like that. Like I'm setting scenarios. I think the women that gravitate towards you when you're an asshole, it's usually one or two reasons. It could certainly be more. One, they're just very insecure. They have some sort of daddy issue, or they're used to men in their lives treating them that way anyway, and they think that shit's okay. Or it's a case of, maybe they're kind of similar to how men like to chase. Like some women don't like, they think they might, maybe they tweaking a little bit, or they're trying to give you grace. So I'm gonna stay around a little bit. Maybe you ain't mean that shit, but eventually a woman who understands her worth, or understands that like this is not how you should be treating me, is not gonna tolerate that shit. If they're around, they're not gonna be around for long. And the ones that are around for long, it's a deeper issue that really don't got nothing to do with you. It's something they're trying to fulfill in themselves, or they just really need love that bad and can't see that you being an asshole is showing them you ain't gonna be the one to give it to them.
I think being an asshole and showing love is. I wouldn't say it's the. It's, I would say you can still be an asshole and show love.
You can, but what I'm saying is if you're involved with someone romantically and you get to a point where you're treating them like an asshole, like nobody's perfect. You dating, you in a relationship, whatever, like y'all gonna have disputes, whatever the case may be. It's about how you come back from it. It's about how you talk to me when you're upset. It's about the things like the how of how they're happening. And if those things you're consistently showing me you don't communicate well, or you don't value my feelings enough to watch your tone, or to do whatever, or to come back and say I'm sorry, that's a problem. That's a red flag. And when they keep allowing that shit, or even because sometimes there's a lot of men who, people can emotionally manipulate one another, whatever, but just speaking from a man and woman perspective, like men can emotionally manipulate you, and they'll know they're doing it, like even if it's a subconscious thing, like it's in your thing, but they're gonna keep doing it because you letting them. And it's like when you keep doing that, and I'm letting, but I'm when you come back and you say, damn baby, I ain't even mean that, da da da. If you really didn't mean it, you wouldn't do it again, or you wouldn't do it again and again and again and again. Like I understand, no, things don't change overnight. When this is a pattern, that's who you are, and you're an asshole, and you don't really love me, even if that's the best way you know how to love.
And it also depends on what y'all arguing about. Because you said, like, y'all just always get into it. But what are y'all getting into it about? Also, what were your intentions with her from the beginning? Because I know a lot of times situations like this kind of boils down to what Cindy said. Either you just got money and I'm going to put up with whatever you put up, whatever I'm putting up with because you're taking care of me. Or you probably came into a situation saying, like, you don't want a relationship, but you're doing everything to make me feel like we in a relationship.
Your actions not matching your words.
I think there's so much wrong with that statement. I think people got to understand. Like sometimes people be so not used to, and I'm not using me as an example, but I know a lot of women. I've dated a lot of women, and I just know how this works. And I just know a lot of the guys. A lot of times,
Because that's credible.
a lot of times people be going back to what Cindy was saying earlier. A lot of times people be so they don't be used to a certain getting treated with the bare minimum of respect. So when somebody's treating them with respect, they think it's like, yo, oh, this is love, this is the one, this is the husband. I was literally talking to a young lady the other day, and she was like, yo, I was dating this guy, and we was talking for like 2-3 months, and within them 2-3 months, I instantly started planning out our life. Like, yo, I think that I'm invested now. I feel like this can be the one, and I just have to tell like so you telling me within the first 2-3 months you start investing in the future. So you thinking about the future because the way he's treating you, opposed to getting to know him. Like this is just him being a good guy, but it just lets me know like the people that she's usually dealing with. She's not usually dealing with people that listens to her. You know what I mean? Like not too many people can have a conversation with a woman. I know a lot too many guys intentionally have conversation with women, and if a woman asks them questions about any and everything they said, they can't go back and be like, "Because you said this and mean this," or a week later when y'all getting into it, not getting into it, but when she's frustrated about some shit, and you can be like, "Oh well, you know, remember when you was talking about this and you said that?" Like, damn, nigga, you was listening. Not gonna work for saying the N word, but a lot of men don't listen to they don't listen to understand or just listen because the person talking to them. A lot of times they just being present so they can get what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think when people do like the bare minimum, just be a good person. Let me just say a good guy, like men and women. Like when you a good person, essentially, like I have no intentions with you. This is just who I am. I'm a good person. Sometimes people they fall in love with that because it's like, yo, I've never experienced somebody just being a good, genuine person,
But
especially in Chicago.
I
But
think
then
to
I be wanting to know how many people you being a good person to, because you can't be a good person to all these girls.
Who said that?
and that's what I
Me.
was gonna say. To Bree's point though, like I feel you, and I'm on the side of I want women to find space to take more accountability for how they even allow men to treat them. Because one thing I've learned, like, it ain't even about just my own romantic experience from observing, like, present day shit, older generations, men do what you let them, baby. They literally do what you allow, like,
Never
every
and
single
never.
time. And that's going to be that way until the end of time.
Till infinity and
Um, and so, with that, I want more women to find a space to take accountability for him telling you one thing but doing another. Most men are really that straightforward, are really that simple. You tell me you don't want to be with me, you don't want no relationship. The average woman ain't gonna play strong enough to be able to be in that space where I know this is what you said, but so I'm gonna ignore how you're acting and we're just gonna vibe. But like there's a space where that exists. It's just rare for most women. And I want you to know if you ain't strong enough to do that, when he tell you that and that's what you are looking for, then cool, we're not compatible. Maybe we can be friends. Maybe, I don't know, but hold yourself accountable to not even let, because after a certain point it does kind of, even if the man isn't trying to intentionally manipulate the situation, it becomes emotionally taxing because now you're subconsciously having to remind yourself, damn, he just did this for me. Damn, now we on month 6, he don't want no girlfriend, but I'm over his house every day, he be cooking for me, we doing this, we doing that, like, but you got to do the work every day, but he don't want me like that, he don't like me like that, like. And I do think men should, it's a two-way street. Y'all should also be like, all right, let me have some sort of boundaries with how nice I am or how I'm showing up, because I already told her I'm not rocking with her like that, so I don't want to send mixed signals. But y'all don't take that responsibility. Y'all don't put your, you keep getting what you want. Like, why? And I ain't, a part of me kind of ain't even mad at y'all for not taking the responsibility, because what good does it do you to take the responsibility?
okay.
What I'm looking out for her for, I keep getting the coochie, I keep getting this, all that, by
I'm
just being me.
I'm not even gonna be mad at that statement because I know we where we from. We don't even like the word y'all. Y'all will get yourself fight quick.
Who is y'all?
Like y'all to get you yourself.
I am big on that. I do say that all the time. So you're
Who
right.
is y'all?
Yeah, but nah, I agree what you're
It
saying.
wasn't personal to you.
Yeah, nah, it's definitely not personal to me.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I definitely do not.
I don't know if we said all that, but I'm just saying it ain't
I know for a person I could take accountability for who I am. I just know that I'm not that dude. But I will say this is not. It's not gonna be a relationship show because I'm so tired of them. But we can get into somebody who has some relationships that might be fucking up his empire. So Sean Diddy, Puffy Combs, Brother Love just stepped down as a chairman of Revolt.
As he should.
It's getting spicy over there, man. It's getting spicy, and I want to propose this, right? Because we was talking about like because it's like outside of him, like you had Cuba Gooding Jr., you had Marcellus Wiley, Steve Harvey. You got all these different people. They got all these. You say what, Brie?
Trey Songz.
Trace, well, Trace. I don't know with. All these different people, like these cases have just been coming out within the past week. Remember when I was on here when I said, like, yo, if you want to change what goes on in hip hop entertainment down behind closed door, take it to the legal and do like a class actions lawsuit, and everybody was like, "No, you don't do it like that."
I do not remember you. I do not remember.
Literally, me and Jay was going back and forth, and I was like, "Yo, if you want to change their behavior in this shit, like we ain't got to sit here and talk about it. Y'all want to sit here, don't talk about it. Let's do it. Like do a I basically just said do a Rico with this shit. Y'all go after all they ass.
Okay, I do remember you bringing up Rico's about it.
Go after all they ass, and I got so much pushback for that. Like, no, we gotta talk about it. No, we don't need no. I don't need think women need to go on no more podcast, do no interview. If a nigga did some foul shit, take the because I learned one thing. Becoming a Kappa, and it's one thing they told me like you either going is either gonna hurt you physically or they gonna tap your pockets. But there's no you ain't no way you escaping this shit. So so hey, if you can't send them to jail or you can't personally harm them, go tap them pockets. Niggas stop being rapey then. That's gonna make them the next motherfucker stop being rapey because this shit is getting out of hand. Like, why does all these dudes feel like they can just like the stories be crazy? Like the girl that said she was with not Uncle Luke, but what's dude Aaron Hall?
Aaron Hall, yeah.
The one that Chris dropped, like that shit is crazy because she 15 with a good body. Y'all, that is crazy.
I also feel like I feel like he was gonna step down from Revolt because even when I was reading the lawsuit from that Cassie presented, she sued everybody but Revolt. So I feel like it's more so of like he don't have to, but in order to protect what you have left, you have to step down from that.
Something even tells me that he didn't want to. It's given like because it came a week later after other allegations started coming forward. I feel like if Cassie was the only allegation that had come forward, I think he'd have tried his hand and still sitting on the chair and they would have waited for it to blow over because they settle so quickly. Give it a couple more news cycles, it'll be fine.
Yeah, and she literally sued she sued Combs Enterprises, Bad Boy Records. She sued everybody except for Revolt. That's what I was waiting to see. Like, was he gonna step down?
But I think when these other allegations came forward, he probably knows there's likely going to be more coming now because things happen in numbers and the energy's picking up and people want to finally out the truth. I feel like his team had to sit him down because Diddy, like everybody talks about how Diddy's a narcissist. I don't know this man. I acknowledge that, but like a lot of things I will say about like personality disorders or just like a lot of psychology type stuff when you can kind of see people's personalities and you don't even have to know them. That stuff be textbook stuff, bro. Like you can literally go open a textbook, look up a narcissist, and I guarantee you he fit like 10 out of 15 of the descriptions. So it's one of those things where like a narcissist ain't gonna be like, you know what, I should step down for the betterment of this company. I really feel like his team had to sit him down and be like, look, if you don't want to be out here swimming in these waters by yourself, you're going to have to come up off this chairman seat because other people's lives are now at risk. And you can't be sitting here talking about, oh, I didn't do this or I did it 20 million years ago or now he brother love. Back then I was in the dark place. Nobody even care about all that. You know what I mean? I feel like this was a forced move from his team.
So fact check me on this, right? But you can't sue Revolt.
Why not?
And I just learned this from the meeting I had with Chuck. Shout out to Chuck. If y'all need entertainment lawyers, we got a good one here in Chicago. Good brother. Make sure y'all get him. But happened to me with my attorney. You have to separate all your business entities, right? So a company such as Revolt, Diddy doesn't own. You know what I'm saying? He don't have that. So you suing after him. He don't have those assets, right? So you can't sue Revolt because he doesn't technically own that. You know what I'm saying? That's like if somebody was to slip and fall in your home, right? In a building or property you own, they slip and fall or something, you fucked up some shit at you and they try to sue you, right? You own the home. The home is in your name, so they can come after you and all the assets you own, right? But let's say a real estate trick that a lot of people say getting into real estate, put the property, if you're going to be a landlord, put the property in the business name, right? So now they only can sue the assets of that LLC or whatever that business is, right? They can't personally sue Cindy or Bree or nothing like that. They only can get the assets of that company have, right? So Diddy have ownership in Revolt, have a position in Revolt, but that's a job. The CEO of Revolt is Detavia. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So as a board member, he can step down, but he doesn't own Revolt. You know what I'm saying?
Which I feel like makes sense because if she, to your point, Brie, if she came for everybody but Revolt, I'm sure her lawyers didn't leave them out as a courtesy. It was probably just because there was no legal way for them to. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
That was more so of a look thing. That was more so of a. That was just more so of a.
I mean,
If I'm here, like it's gonna look bad and people doing business with us. So for
mhm.
all the people that's getting money, that's like Russell Simmons, right? Russell Simmons stepped down from some shit. I forgot what he was over when he had them allegations. He stepped back.
I
What was
just think it's wild that he could, like, everybody just knows he went across the world to evade all consequences from, like, these rape allegations and charges.
Oh yeah, he.
And it's just what it is. Like, folks got out of Dodge, and we just said, okay, he lives there now. He can't be extradited. Like,
if it wasn't
that's the
if it wasn't rape allegations and charges, I would champion that move.
yeah, like, and I don't know. I guess to your point, you saying like all of this stuff is wild and thinking about it, I 100% agree. And there are no buts to follow that statement. But I think a and to it is that's the culture. And I'm not saying that that makes it okay. Like, I'm not going to justify it because your face look like I'm not. There is no justification. What I'm trying to get at is like your point about how this has to be a RICO, like how you take things down. It's like, yeah, when it's been this way for so long, like I feel like some people, we're all born good according to whatever karmic law or God or whatever you follow, right? Like we're all born pure, and it's life that taints you. For me, I feel like some of these people walk into this industry and they weren't even tainted. Like, I don't even think people were educated enough about, like, even today, like what classifies as rape. You know what I mean? So like, but after a certain point, you know right from wrong. So that's why there's no justifying it. That's why all of the ass need to go down on the list. Because after a certain point, you know from that gut feeling, like, even though you just seen all the guys run this girl, you could look in her eyes and you could tell she don't really want this. But you do it because the guys did it, because you was told to do it. You know what I mean? And when you ignore that gut feeling, you just made a choice to get on the wrong side.
Why are you looking like that?
You just made a choice to get on the wrong side of things.
That,
Period. Like that.
that goes back into that gray area.
Here we go. Okay, so let's not go down a gray area rabbit hole today because that's not even where I'm going.
With that specific scenario.
That specific scenario, if you know your gut is telling you to get the fuck out of here and you still have sex with this person again, they laying there and they could barely even fend for themselves. That's like at frat houses when girls be getting too drunk at parties and now they passing out, but y'all all
you add an element, you add a different element. That's why
it's the same thing. It's gang rape. We're all in a room. It's just about if we're in the entertainment industry or a frat house. This person's incapacitated. I'm seeing her eyes. She don't want it. She's probably said no to the first 5, but now she tired of saying no. But I'm gonna still do it anyway.
That goes. That's what I'm saying. It goes the gray area, right? So the gray area in running the quote unquote train, right? So yes, incapacitated. She said the words. Look what you're saying. The words you're saying. She said no. Like there's no consent in there at all. But you just but initially before you said those things, you said was she did X, Y, and Z, and your gut feeling telling you
They
like
did X, Y, and Z. And I'm not one, and I'll give you that. That is exactly what I said.
she
Right.
participated, and then
But
when it got to your turn, you could tell she was a little tired and probably didn't want it. And
so thank you for pointing that out because you're right. But and all that lets me know is I did not communicate clearly. I was not trying to say she was down for the first 5, and now it's your turn. She's not down.
Oh, anytime it was no consent,
my point is she wasn't down at all.
Well, then that's wrong. But in the gray area, when I was talking about in the gray area, because when you said that, like they haven't, when people do stuff like that, it's a lot of times where there's consent.
Possibly, yeah, but you know where it's no longer a gray area. I don't care.
She
I
tell
don't
you
care
to
if right now
stop,
I
or
lay
if
down
you
and
see
I
that
have
she's
sex with 10
too
men straight.
inebriated.
If that 11th one comes in and I don't want to have sex with him, I have the right to say no and get up. Period.
Exactly.
And but I might not feel safe enough to get
So I
up.
need more. That's why we need more guys. I need more guys.
No,
I
because
need more
anybody
guys
tries
on
to
this show.
deny that, Cody, it's
Because
irrelevant. I don't care if I fucked 15 niggas right now. Excuse
If
my
I
language.
tell
you know what I
no
was
to
gonna
the
say?
16 man, it's a
You know
no.
what I was gonna say?
Baby, no, it's none left for you. I'm sorry. And then
What you gonna say,
the minute
Cody?
them try to keep me in there or start trying to coerce me, damn, you gonna do my boy like that? Damn, this the CEO of Bad Boy Records. Like, damn, you done gave it to the
All
whole
that
team.
shit.
They gonna give it to my home.
All that
That's
shit is rape.
coercion. That's coercion.
That's coercion and rape. You're 100% right. All I was going to say is
You
I've
finna
been in situations like that
my
where
outside finna
you
come out.
you
Stop
you
playing
was the first and the second, and then when the third dude coming, shorty like, nah, I'm good with everybody but y'all two but him. And dude be sitting there looking salty. So I'd have been in situations like that where women have been like, and this is younger years when I was a teenager. Like
Who
teenagers.
fault is that? You just gotta chuck it up and take your
Yeah,
L.
he took it over and took an L. Like he felt salty. Ain't nobody make him do the shit. So yeah, you 100% right. Like I'm not disagreeing because at the end of the day, it don't matter what the act that you're doing. If she consents or he consents, it's consensual.
But the point I was trying to make with all of that though is there's not enough education around what, like, even how we got to the point about how you can coerce people into things and that classifies as rape. Like, people, we try to make consent as black and white as a yes or a no. I'm watching a morning show right now, and I just seen the
Love
episode.
that show. I
um,
put Cody on to that show.
I just seen the episode where Mitch and where they break down like him and one of the black girl with the curly hair. She never uttered the word no, but like from her body language to her
You
saying
can
this
tell
isn't
she
what I
didn't want
came
to
here
do that.
for, to all these things, he knew. And you know, when she told him this isn't what I came here for, his automatic response was, I know, but doesn't it feel good? That's manipulation. That's coercion. Like, you just raped this woman. Like, then, and that happens all too often, and then men get to get off and feel like, oh, well, it was a gray area, she never said no, she didn't push me off. Decide, think about how you just locked her mind down, bro. Who gonna feel? First of all, you a man, 9 times out of 10, like, you would sometimes, yes, you have to fight or flight, whatever, but there's a lot of situations that it's just proven, it's in the pudding, your fight or flight might not even kick in because you're that locked down. Like, your nervous system starts doing something you've never experienced before. Like, there's, even in smaller scenarios, bro. Like, I can think about situations where men have verbally assaulted me by the things that they just kept saying to me about my body and feeling it was okay to put their hands on me. And then Cindy, y'all know that don't even play that. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I stood there like just trying to understand what was even happening to me. I didn't get loud. I didn't do these things because it didn't, my brain couldn't even process how is somebody I trust and I'm close to even fucking with me like this right now. So it's just like, I don't think people, there just needs to be more education around is what I'm trying to say. So while there is a, yes, Rico's how you bring it down or whatever, how do you reform it? You reform it by we need to start like all these sexual trainings you got to do at work and stuff. They need to be far more in depth and understanding, like, it's much bigger than yes or no, and black or white. Like, that's just how I feel about it.
I agree.
That was
Prolific.
very prolific. That was definitely I'm happy. Thank you for sharing your experience. I hope the people watching and listening to that can take something from that. And just moving forward. But not minimalizing anything you said. I would say my particular stances on it, tap them pockets. If you can't go criminal, and I know criminal is a lot harder to prove than civil. So I understand. I seen why a lot of people were just like, oh man, if he did that, like why y'all not taking him to jail? Why y'all not filing criminal charges? Because I understand the mindset of people, especially women in this case, where they don't want to do criminal charges because criminal charges is a lot harder to prove. Sometimes it's just sometimes people don't want to relive that moment. It's a lot of psychological things that goes on with that. So I understand that. And I will never down nobody for not taking that route. But I do honestly feel if you tap them pockets, I think both should happen. I think they should go to jail, and if they these post-war men with power, tap them pockets. Because if you get me, that's like when that song said to Kobe 200 M's. When Vanessa was from the divorce Kobe and get them 200 M's, I'm pretty sure a lot of people with money start thinking like, shit, I might want to keep my dick in my pants. Tiger Woods' wife, when she did all that shit and took half that bread and put the house down, niggas started thinking a little different out here how they moving with that. You see, Steven Jackson said, "I'm not even getting married unless she signed a prenup." You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, when you tap them pockets, I just know from a man personally, right? A man only values a few things in their life, right? That they feel like they can hold on to. It's their wallet and they masculinity when it come to women. They want when it come to women. So if you hit them pockets, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna hurt him way more than you gonna have your cousins and them beat him up and anything. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker being broke is gonna make the next person think like, nah, gee, I ain't on that. Like, I ain't like I'm cool. Cause it's already in people's mind. They feel like they can get away with this shit. Like that's why people have been doing it for 40 years. You know what I'm saying? It's already in their mind. They feel like they can get away with this shit. Nah, hit them pockets, man. Ladies, if y'all watching this shit, hit them pockets. I
I
want to.
agree that's how you get your get back, but all this shit need to start too. Somebody needs to like. It shouldn't take for me having to take all your net worth for you to see that like you rapey. Like, but like in the community, there just needs to be a better sense of accountability and better standards set. So
You dealing with people though. Like you dealing with people. Like take all the. That's why you watching the morning show. Why you think the whole thing that he's mad about?
yeah.
He lost his salary.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his spot. He ain't mad. They call him a rapist. Even the other dude that got fired, they all mad because they lost. And they
He
hold.
ain't mad. He ain't mad. He getting called a rapist because he don't even see how he is one. That's another
That's
layer
what
to it too, though.
They're not
some
gonna
months have to understand that.
Yeah, he doesn't understand that what he did is rape.
like you could do so many talks and seminars and shit like that, but some people just
I ain't even saying from a formal standpoint, bro. I'm saying this shit starting the crib. Like it start, instead of aunts and uncle, like when y'all uncles be talking to y'all and ooh nephew look, when you bring the fine ass girl to the thing, like there's a way to say, all right, nephew, like I see you and leave it at that. And then your nephew be, all right, man, the ass on her, you doing your big one with that one, huh, Daryl? Chill out, bro. But like it strokes your ego and it make you feel good and da da da. But then you pass those behaviors on. So now y'all as men and y'all friend groups, y'all sitting around, the ass on this person or the titties on that one or this girl is that. And then that trains you all mentally to be able to go up to and say those things to women. Like, I mean, don't get me. Some women just don't got no game, and that's how they start. But what I'm saying is like it starts with the conversations that we're having literally in our most intimate circles of what we think is appropriate to act on or say or do whatever. And like, I just want more accountability in those circles too.
that shit sound good. But I'm telling you right now, no matter what salary the man got, if the conversation in them circles to this day, when everybody seeing Diddy losing all this shit, everybody response is like, man, I ain't doing that shit. I ain't trying like you ain't you
I
tapped
don't
the
think you're wrong, but I
tap
think
the pocket. That should be the universal comment because that's money is the most universal language we got. Currency. So if that's the way to display hurt, everybody in every group and every part of the world will get that. Like if I fuck up, I'm fucking up some money. Like that's the most universal language we got is money. Everybody understand that this money is valuable. Everywhere you go, currency has some root of value. So like I say, tap them pockets. You know what I'm saying? It's like allowances when you a kid. When you don't take out the garbage and you get an allowance, are you not getting your allowance? You gonna take out the garbage.
I ain't arguing, John. I see your point clearly. I just
Your point, but it's like certain shit is like,
that's where you can take control. Now I get what you're saying. Like
it's like
that's where you focus on what you can control, right? That's
yeah,
where you can take
yeah.
control.
I
You
don't think
can
I
control
think
what people are talking about in their houses. I get that.
yeah, we
I think
do
we can push the agenda.
we do too much on whatchamacallit shit. Like on these podcasts and these shows, we do too much. Like man, we got to do it like this, and man, I wish to fuck all that. Like what could we do right now to get immediate results? And you see what happened. Soon as Shorty went after the biggest one, and
Yeah.
get immediate results. Then all the rest of this shit, like what you saying now, people gonna start having a real conversation in the household when daddy can't pay them bills because daddy's outside being a creep and it's coming to affecting your household now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so son gonna have trauma for that
His
shit.
daddy was able to be a creep. To your point, because he provided. To the other point, because patriarchy was at an all time high. Like, no, it's a new day. It's a new dawn, and it's unfortunate that a lot of old practices and habits and things have been passed down from generation to generation. And that's one thing it ain't many things I'll commend Gen Z on. But standing up and forging forth a new day in a lot of these systems like the workplaces and families and different things. I get them their credit because they gonna say how they feel and they ain't gonna take your shit. Do I think they go better about it better sometimes? For sure, but it's the disruption that we need, as a society to start setting new standards for these unhealthy habits.
I'm gonna have a different conversation about Gen Z because I feel like Gen Z is the reason why this economy fucked up.
Possibly.
I
I,
Yeah,
think
that's a whole nother conversation.
yeah, that's gonna go down a real rabbit hole, but I can see where you're going with it.
no, but you know what I'm saying. Going under the rabbit hole and talking about the economy, everybody got to get this. How they get this. So your boy from the crib, masked up news blogger, had to get his. I hope he looked like he Gen Z because he don't look like he grew up with us doing no shit like this. Uh,
Not
the trenches blogger man was snitching for 25,000 on the old Blockians in the alleged murder of FBG Duck.
That's wild.
25,000 not even a lot of
Man,
money.
tell them, man.
It's really not.
There ain't no more discrepancies. I'm here.
I don't
Long
even get
live
mad at
Compton,
the
man.
snitching.
You know?
What really pisses me off in
Hey,
this situation
nice
is that
courtroom. They got some nice
he's a
snacks
black
downstairs.
disciple.
Ain't the average Italian beef
They
and
got this
Pepsi,
all in the
man. They got
article. So he is a
they got
BD
fruit snacks. They got
and he
they
made
got
content.
gyros and shit like that. They hooking us up. You hear me? They hooking us up. And they gave us $100 gift card, man. The Bath and Body Works. You know.
$100 gift card is
Shit,
crazy.
That
I
hooking
couldn't
us
miss
up
this
is crazy.
opportunity.
He talking about they fed
Word
them
tomorrow
Italian
they getting
beats.
out
Bro, the nigga made a
$100
whole
gift
my
cards and
man's
steak and
made a
shake.
I
whole
thought
Shout
this
out to
was
them
fake
trying to hit
at
them all too.
first.
it's the Chicago
But yeah, this the
Sun-Times
courtroom,
reported they
man.
have his real
Just about
name.
to show y'all,
They said
you know,
a week or two
oh,
after
this the
Duck was
Trenches
shot,
News.
he
Live,
contacted the
reporting
police
from you. From the
and
First
told them like how
Citizens
they.
Federal
I
Building,
went
man.
back and
Today is
read
the
the article.
Arlington
Remember when
Weekly
Duck was on
Day
the front
in the
page
old
Mm-hmm.
block of
and they
cities,
say he
man.
had a bounty on him, the $100,000 bounty and shit. Like if you read that article, they were saying like yo, an informant reached out to the police that has relations to the gang
Damn.
has told them what all the ins and outs. And then when this new article just came out, and it's like, okay, yeah, they know too much. Like to my he a BD from the like he a Newtown black disciple. Like they know too much.
How is a hell of a drug? Because the fact that
That's
you can barely speak pure English and you up there trying to do a vlog in somebody's courthouse
Italian beef and Pepsi.
about you snitching, you
Nuts.
said you to snitch, and you barely getting $2,000 a month off these people.
I hope he got witness protection. Fuck all that.
They ain't got no witness protect time.
I
Y'all
know
see I'm masked up. They still gonna catch you. They're gonna catch this man.
they know who it is. Absolutely.
Mm.
That's insane. I'm really mad at the FBI, Chicago PD, whoever it is, the police. I'm really mad at them because why would y'all even allow him to do this?
Chicago's not a real place.
Chicago is very much so La La Land.
Yeah. That's why I have to move from this.
La La Land, because that's insane.
No, New York's not a real place. Not too much on Chicago because it's New York that be having the wildest stuff going on.
No, gee, I ain't gonna lie. All that shit be wild. But
Nah,
That's
I've
insane.
never seen a snitch. Like we talked all that shit about 6ix9ine.
New York, man, they
Man
they
just did
they
a
A
trying to
whole.
fuck with
snitch
my
that I
shit.
have promoted himself, vlogging in
Hey,
the poorhouse.
why y'all not
Wow, G, you can't. Nah, G, nah, you
y'all not
can't.
that man hustle?
Explain, Cindy. I want you to explain
Nah,
what
I
you
ain't got no explanation. I'm just trolling, bro.
He is slow. His
I
mental
ain't
is not there. Him and baby, y'all gotta catch these. these men that got these followers and this clout, this little clout, y'all gotta catch them. Y'all need to stop letting them go do interviews on the blog and stuff. Y'all gotta chill.
Media fucked the game up. I mean, but that whole I ain't gonna speak too much on it because I don't need nobody looking for me saying nothing, whatever. But like that whole operation was food. Like the car that they did it in, y'all posted in Parkway with like, come on now, like it was a lot just wrong with the situation. So if you ask me, they made it easy for folks to go sit down and do that. So
Maybe they should have gave him a bath for y'all paying $25,000.
how you know if that man? Why you
He
being
don't
mean?
look like he getting no 25,000.
All I'm gonna say,
25,000 ain't a lot of money. He probably didn't blew that. You know how fast people blow money when they think it's like $25,000 is not. Well, for somebody it might be. I'm not trying to be like classist
With
and
him, it looked
it
like
might
it
be
could
life
go.
changing money, but like it goes just as fast as it comes if you need like basic things like a car, a crib. Like, so it's like I don't expect to see you with too much,
But
but they
that's probably what the police thought when they offered him 25,000. He was like, "I bet." They probably like, "This nigga is stupid
oh
because
sure they
stupid.
absolutely
I'm
did.
stupid."
They absolutely did.
I ain't even gonna lie. If the bounty and God rest FBG Duck Soul, like he was cool people. You know what I'm saying? I hated his mom had to sit through this news. Like even I have to see this. It's just crazy.
Maybe Mama Duck gonna be the one to
But seeing that the bounty on her son head was 100K. If you're gonna snitch, that's where you need to start. Minimum is at 100,000. My minimum, if I'm gonna,
okay. Because what's 25,000 gonna do?
yeah, that's crazy. He went there.
That barely gets you to Iowa for a couple months.
And
And
he
you need to
probably
be
felt
trying to
like
go to
he
Florida
really
or
didn't
Cali or
do what
something.
he did. That's probably he probably declined the witness protection. He
After
probably
they
thought this was gonna cloud him up.
after they lock all these sick freak motherfuckers up for all this rapey shit, I think whatever black leaders that we got left, I want them to call a meeting, right? We need to call a meeting because, like, black people, we are down
Black
bad.
people always want to meet about something too and don't find a solution at the
Nah,
end.
we need to come here. We need to have a
That.
solution. We need to start. We need to do like the folks used to do back in the day. Start violating people, like, cause ain't nowhere in hell. Like, yo, bro, I be looking at like TMZ and like these Hollywood reporters. These other like communities, the shit that they
It'd
entertainment,
be minimal. It'd be entertaining.
it don't
That's
be
not
good.
entertaining to us.
Like,
But you know
yo,
what? I don't know. It's somebody somewhere that did find that entertainment, and what scares me the most about that is it's likely like a young kid. It's another little boy coming up that's in the projects and somewhere that damn 25K. Cause you gotta think about it, when you in certain environments, you see niggas commit crimes every day. You know what I mean? Like every day. So now he's promoting that you can get paid for this, you can eat good. I don't want to eat ramen tonight. Hell yeah, let CPD
We
give
want
me
some
the Italian.
Portillo's, baby.
You feel me? Like I'm trying to go crazy. So it's like he's sending the wrong message. Like all the other things that come with making a decision like this is not what's being highlighted.
And I
You know what I mean?
also feel
And that's
like
what scares me.
I also think about blogs like Chicago Wave and like Chicago Rap that actually not only report like or posts about just music that's coming out of like the drill scene or whatever other communities we have in Chicago, but they also post about these people lifestyles and what they do and like if they in beef or if they did or if they had like good accolades. Like I like the Chicago Wave, and I feel like that's going to hinder like the relationship between certain blogs and the artists.
I can see that.
it definitely is. I mean, but at the same time, it's like they go on there snitch on themselves. Y'all get this information themselves. Y'all don't sign media release agreements. Y'all don't do none of this. Like y'all don't have y'all the business part of it ain't really down pat. Y'all just want to be famous. And he don't even really do interviews. He just literally the shit that he probably told the police is some shit that you and I probably already know.
Hmm.
Because loose lips ain't ships. All these people that be in these streets, all you rappers that be thinking y'all doing shit. Not even just rapper, all you dudes that be doing shit in the streets and y'all go tell all y'all homies and y'all homies go tell one of their homies and he tell the girl he sleeping with and she go tell all her homies. Like the shit gets around. You know what I'm saying? He just probably capitalized on because he has a whole page just like all the rest of these streets dudes. They have whole pages and YouTube channels of them talking about what went down in the streets. What do you think? Where do you think they get that information from? Do they making that shit up?
Mhm.
Like, come on, man. So, y'all, this is gonna be on the other hand, the shit goofy to me, but on the other hand, the citizen of me, the moral stand up citizen of me, I I champion this shit.
I don't have no answer really. I don't know how I
Oh, I
feel about
champion this shit because we got to get. I'm like, yo, we at what point in time is we just gonna get tired of this shit, bro? Like, I'm tired of seeing people kill each other being glorified. I don't care who making the bread off of it.
I think if he would have came out just as an informant and not did like the whole vlog and like trying to glorify it, I probably would have felt cool about him being a snitch. But it really just gave I know I'm about to come up off of this. And that's what I can't respect.
But that's what they do anyway. Everybody that has these YouTube channels, from Adam 22 to everybody that does this, they're coming up off this content.
And
Even
I don't
Why
respect
it works for them because they're not making it plain and obvious to the average viewer that they're coming up off. I don't know why I'm tongue tied today. Up off of it. It's not like is that's like marketing 101. Like you sell that shit, but you don't make it obvious that you're selling a product. You know what I mean? So it's like he kind of shot himself in the foot with that. That might get you clout with your friends or something like that. But like that's because any good business person now know you a target, my boy. So it ain't no that this is you're now a risky investment for me. Like it might be cool how you did it. I see the creative angles and him getting all like it's funny, but it's like I ain't touching that. You know what I mean? So
but
he
also I feel like
you
a
don't
lot of
gotta
people
touch
they
it.
don't tell you that's what they doing. Like they're silent snitches. And all of them, like the way they ask the questions, they get people to telling themselves, but their hands are clean. You know what I mean? Ain't no blood on their hands. But like he just put the blood all over his because he letting you know. Da 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 da. Talk to me.
All he got to do is keep coming out with YouTube pages and he put the information on YouTube.
mm-hmm.
Let's see if he
With
gives
one
it.
of the modulation voices.
The shit is already on there from another page. He just probably
Mm-hmm.
was like, yo, I'm gonna just get a bag from the shit. The shit's already coming in the streets. Y'all want the shit? That shit is just crazy. And I think we just need to. I think we need to stop. Just how we need to stop. We need to mute drill music from the radios and all this type of shit. We need to mute. We need to mute street people from. But I know that's against the First Amendment right. But we need to mute that shit.
What? Mute street people from what?
Interviews.
Reporting on street stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
All that type of
Reporting
shit.
on it, telling what happened, telling these side
man,
story.
they'll never
Telling
pass that because that should help the police. That help the
yeah,
police do their job. So they ain't never gonna stop that.
they're never gonna stop doing that.
Which is crazy because that ain't doing nothing. But that's the demise of that's just the demise of the culture. Like that's the demise of like the mindset of what people of the next generation of what they're going to be trying to do now. Like the morals are gone. Like it's just clout content over everything. Clout, 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 clout. And then you got real journalists, you got real bloggers, you got real entertainment that's really out here trying to push information, entertainment into content. But all I'm hearing is street niggas killing each other. Relationship, relationship, relationship. Sexy red, niggas why niggas cheat. Like that is the black content platform right now. And Krishan Rock. That's all you get.
That's why we gotta get the people something else. We gotta get them a new lane, a new avenue to tap into, be a part of the conversation, think differently. Like don't fall into these traps that the mass media is putting out there for you.
We ain't even mass media. It's ourselves.
But it's still sexy red is mass media. That is she's like arguably the biggest female rapper right now. So that is pushed on main platforms. Like
Cause I had a conversation with one of my mentors about this. And he like, yo, I think they probing us. They using media to sell us shit. And I want to get y'all take on this because my pushback on that was I feel like they lost control to do that shit when the internet came out. Because the internet weaponized the average day person. Like the example I gave to them was Chief Keef. The only thing different between the Chief Keef and to me, a person that was way worse in the streets than Chief Keef and them that was moving was Lil Ass them from Pocket Town. And anybody from over east in that area knew about them, like how they used to go to all the clubs, how they used to roll 300 deep, like literally like 300 deep, and be thrashing motherfuckers, robbing motherfuckers and shit, allegedly. Um, but the only difference between them and all that 300 shit is it wasn't no cameras. It wasn't no cameras. They didn't have that. When D Gaines and them and AZ and them started bringing out them cameras and uploading that shit to YouTube, you put the power back. Look at even how labels and record labels even view artists now. We don't got an artist develop no more. Like everything you do now is, yo, you already got to follow them because you went out there, did some shit on the internet. People react to it. When the labels try to make an artist do a TikTok challenge or do some shit, it don't work. Like the media, the white man don't none of them. They can't control media. That's why they all at a standstill because everybody trying to figure out what's next. Like, how can we get ahead? What's next? Control because they don't have that access no more. They can't say, well, these are the artists we putting on no more because DSPs and YouTube stopped that. So if you don't want to give me a deal or you want to mute my music on radio, I can just be hot on TikTok or I can be hot on YouTube and people find it interesting. I'm gonna go viral. You know what I'm saying?
I do think some of it, is I see your point, is what I'm trying to say. But I really don't think that means mass media isn't still behind most of it. Because when they saw that and they saw how people gravitated towards it, that's why, labels and other higher entities wanted to step in and give Keith a bigger platform. Like that's literally how drill would have never dominated the world like it did with in the same exact way that it did if it didn't end up getting a machine behind it and labels saw like, damn, we could make a killing off these niggas rapping about killing each other. Like, could they have still dominated the internet? Could it have still taken off, been a big thing? Yes, but not in that same way because it ended up with machines behind it. And now it's a worldwide sound from all these other places. And I feel the same way about just a lot of these trendy things. Like, so much of what we see on the internet, like let's take TikTok for example. A lot of that stuff is just raw entertainment, like people just doing stuff, making videos on their own. And there's also companies and machines and higher entities that we aren't even aware of that's starting challenges to fund their pockets. If we get this song as a challenge or we get whatever doing this XYZ thing as a challenge, we make money. It's like the holiday card system. Hallmark made up half these damn holidays just so they can make millions of dollars for the rest of the time when people go buy a card for whatever. It's the same thing. Like when a bigger machine sees how people are gravitating towards it, they snatch it up and they amplify it. And Sexy Red is being amplified because that's what the fuck they want us to act like. And they see that shit work. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, this new thing she got lost me. Like, I'm all for big sexy, pop your shit, live your life, the shit's catchy, whatever. Like, but my thing is just like this one was she filming a video in the jail, free my nigga, and they all in orange jumpsuits. Like, baby, you just took it back to slave times. This is a real life minstrel show, and you don't even know it.
That part, yes. That doesn't that didn't feel authentic, right? Everything else she did in the beginning of her career to me felt authentic, and that's why I want to go back to it.
I agree.
You can feel the authenticity, right? So by being authentic, people get behind it and they amplify it to make money. And when you going back into the Chief Keef thing, and shout out to Locker and them, No More Heroes. That video and that concept some bullshit, but get y'all money, man. Get y'all concept. Like y'all, my boys, Remy, y'all, I fuck with y'all over there. Get y'all money. But that was some bullshit. I'm gonna let you know that was some bullshit. But even when we talk about Sosa, right? In the drill movement, and you just said the labels pushed it. No artist from the drill movement had a label push. Sosa fucked up. Sosa fucked up his Interscope shit. He couldn't even really get a move. When Dirt got signed, when Def Jam dropped Reese, Duck never got a deal. When Dirt got signed to Def Jam, they didn't even push him. They tried to push him a whole nother way. They didn't push the drill shit with him. They tried to push him a whole other way to the point where he got out his contract and he turned up independently. All this shit we see now from Dirt and then him putting Von and all them on, that came from him not under a label push. That came from him taking control of his career.
But the label still got involved at some point was my point. And then my point is they get involved because they see the potential. Maybe it doesn't work out, but that was still a stepping stone into how it got amplified even more. I'm not saying the label did the bulk of the work. I just want to clarify that. I'm not saying that they needed the label to thrive. I'm just saying I'm using that as an example to say the same way that type of machine saw something and tried, even if it failed, whatever. That's all the internet is. It's just big machines getting behind things, but it feels natural and organic to us.
So, and that's why I would give you pushback from, because my pushback come from and I'm not saying that they needed the label. What I'm saying is that when it's authentic and it's coming from the internet, the labels are doing. They're not doing that. Labels now are not doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing the work. They're just eating off what's going on. So I will sign you and keep doing your thing. I'm gonna just get the bread. I'm gonna give you some money up front because you don't know how to get no money from it. So I'm gonna get my money from it. You know what I'm saying? So I think at that aspect, that's what the labels are doing. Now, if you want to talk to me about imagery and movies and shit, yes, I still think they have control over that because they still have control on
Even the news.
on news, and like they press play on that. But when it comes to the music industry, why is it so? The music industry is so scary right now because it, like I said, it went from radio being the thing, it went from selling albums, it went to streaming. It's like TikTok, all this shit come like because the labels and the people, they don't have control over the music industry. The
Mm-hmm.
music industry is the wild, wild west. They don't know what's next. They don't know how to control it. They don't know how to monetize. They don't know nothing. They just know if the little money I got, if I throw a bag on you, I can get you and I can own the music and I can own rights to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they can't push nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit that they tried to push, every time they try to come up with some AI shit or do this, or I'm gonna push the quote unquote industry plant, the people don't gravitate towards it.
I think you are right, but where I'm pushing back is that I think what I'm trying to say is like they figured out to just push that. Like to your point, like yes, they've tried this AI stuff, they try all these different things, but like Sexy is getting the push that she's getting because they're like the industry as a standard, even about a specific label. Like they're gonna push that image because they see it's working, so they're gonna keep funding it. And now they might even be the reason why it's like, okay, you gotta do this other song, you gotta do whatever. Like it's going to continue to be that because it's working, and that might be scary for some music executives because it's like nothing they've ever seen before. But eventually, you realize, let me stop trying to fight X, Y, and Z and just go with what's going. And when you go with what's going, in some way, shape, or form, you back it. And when you back it, it amplifies. Like Sexy, the reason you're not gonna convince me that and I'm not saying you're trying to, but like that Sexy Red doesn't have a larger force behind her is I could think of like I got very few like actual bougie family members, very few. But I can think of the bougiest motherfucker I got who's 60 plus, probably don't even know a rap. She know who Sexy Red is and is vilely disgusted, but want to know like because Sexy might end up on somebody on some mainstream platform somewhere. I don't see her on like Good Morning America or nothing, but she gonna get a certain type of interview or whatever because she's the hottest woman rapper out. And it's like you don't get to be the hottest one, like a multi superstar, like a big, like known by everybody without some sort of platforms, because that's why we have so many independent artists that maybe talented wise are far better than Cardi B,
So
but they don't get the backing or whatever because
we saying something different, right? So what are we saying? What is that? Like I agree with you because the backing she has is Larry Jackson and Gamma. Like you don't get no bigger than having somebody like a black man like Larry Jackson. If you don't know who Larry Jackson is, do your Googles and you can see how powerful exec he is. He just won exec of the year in Billboard's Power Players recently. So he's a big name to have. You know what I'm saying? He's a big person to have behind you and his new company Gamma. So yeah, that's why Sexy Red is everywhere. That's why she's being pushed like that.
Mhm.
My thing is the intent. I'm only speaking on intent. And what I mean by that is that people want to say like, yo, they pushing this, they want us to think like this. But if you sit back and realize what's going on, the history is not for them that they pushing, they want you to think like this. It's all about money. They in a position to make money off this shit. But if you really sit back and look at it, if you go in the hood, it's women like Sexy Red. All through these little ghetto small towns through the fucking United States. So she got popular because I'm in a group chat with my little cousins and them. They remind me that they do the same and they act the same way. My cousins and them that's on Facebook, I love them. They do the same type of shit. You know what I'm saying? We all know family members like Mellow Bucks. We know people. We know Herbs. That's why they're popular. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to look at where. So to that, you got to look at where they're popular. And I get exactly what you mean about because even Sexy Red is bigger than her. Sexy Red is bigger, obviously bigger than Melon, but she's definitely bigger than her. Like Sexy Red's a world superstar damn near at this point. Like Herb ain't been on tour with Drake. Sexy had, and they're gonna be like, there's so many different, there's levels to this shit. But I see your point, and I think that for the music industry, I agree. I see what you mean by like they're not even trying to push it; they're just trying to get paid off of it. But where I see the other person's point, how it's all connected, is all these different forms of mass media in some way or another work together. So even if I'm a music executive and it's not my agenda to push it, the fact that I'm pushing it, this is exactly how the government or whoever else that want black men killing black men, this is exactly how they want us to think. They want us to be under their control. So it might not be the music industry's intent, but there that is still the agenda of mass media overall, and music feeds into that when it starts backing these kinds of artists and this kind of content.
I get it. I mean, but when we say that, like, yeah, I get it. I just at some point in time, I think we just got to start taking accountability and just start looking at what's going on. And if you look at what's going on, people are just really just making money. We just don't know how to. People know how to monetize our culture. They've been monetizing our culture since the beginning of time. Yeah, since slavery. Yeah, they've been monetizing our culture, and I think we're just upset because we don't know how to monetize our culture and control it.
And I think that's where we would end up going down a whole nother rabbit hole, because a lot of that, most of that probably ain't even our fault. That's from years of certain systems and intentionally not knowing. We were never taught how to monetize our culture. We were just controlled.
We were never taught, but now in the last decade, it's been so many resources and information for us to take control of it. The accountability parts on, like how you just said, goes back to what you said earlier in the hours. You can keep saying that. You can keep saying that I'm sorry for what I did.
Oh
But if
yeah.
I keep repeatedly doing it, I might not be sorry.
Not really sorry, but you know what? But that's also where it comes in into, like, these resources can exist from top to bottom, but if I'm never exposed to them, and you got to think about these schools in the hood are not exposing children to the same resources you and I may have been exposed to, even coming from similar backgrounds or whatever. We got to go to college. We did all these different things that you could probably even think of people in your own family, because I could certainly think of people in mine that don't even know. They don't even know streaming platforms exist. Like, I might got a little cousin who know everything from sports top to bottom. Really could have his own show, and motherfuckers gonna fuck with it because he know his thing and he young and he cute. And would never even think to do that, because you know what's constantly on his Facebook feed, or what resources are available to him, how to do this or how to scam or how to do whatever. You know what I mean? Like all these kinds of things that as a community we're recycling to one another, and not enough of us who branch out get to come back and do it. And I don't even think it's intentional. Like, think about it. Like, I'm sure I can speak for myself. I'm sure I've tried to put my family onto a multitude of things. But you could bring a horse to water, you can't make it drink. And it's also not even meant. It's not even meant to say that that's what was supposed to be a part of their life. You know what I mean? Like, but it's some people who don't even know. Who think about people who don't got family members like you and I who trying to bring stuff back. They just don't even know.
Goes back to what I said, and you're right. All I'm saying is that you can expose them to them, you can bring them to the water and they don't drink.
Yeah.
All we going back and saying is the original statement. There's lackluster accountability.
But who's bringing it to the schools, though? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about. So I get, maybe we bring it to families, we bring it to our communities, but who controls the schools? The government.
I think our culture is way beyond, and I think our culture is way beyond the education system right now. I don't think that, and this is what people, and this is what I have to push back from people. If you sit back and study your youth, and just study your youth and Gen Z and all these new generations, like the things that we say conditioned us don't condition them. Like the school system don't have no control over. They be there in the schools running over the school, outthinking the teachers, outthinking the program, outthinking the systems. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of things, those constructs, it doesn't exist to them. They operate under more of a free will and free thinker and ability type mindset. You know what I'm saying? They grew up with things accessible to them. You know what I'm saying? So in the same breath, when they say, "Yo, no, I don't want to get a job. I'd rather go scam." In the same breath, they know the ability to understand, like, well, the music industry is a scam. Me signing to a label is a scam. every artist that I've listened to that came on the platform and said this, right? But they also know when they take that choice of it ain't even about money no more. It's about fame. We just talked about this earlier. It's about fame. So we can't take the accountability off them. Like, oh, what they're exposed to in our generation. Yeah, I say that. I say that because now I'm talking to people now like, damn, G, we was coming out. We ain't know shit about ANU basketball. We ain't know shit about this because goes back to the Chief Keef and Lil Level example. We didn't have the internet like that. We wasn't exposed to that shit. We had flip phones. You couldn't even Google shit on your phone for real back when we was coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We weren't exposed to that shit. We didn't even have access to it. This new generation of people that's coming out, they have access to a lot of shit. It's about accountability and just going to go get it and want to do right. So
But
no,
them algorithms be fucking it up. Like,
we can
but I'm not even blaming it because you're right, because your algorithm is based off what you're trying to even consume in the first place. But at the end of the day, I just don't want to negate the fact that like your environment still plays a really big role. You
the
know,
environment plays a huge role in it. But at the same time, we just got to really start taking accountability. Niggas got to take accountability. Like it's so easy. Like I think 19 Keys said this shit. Like it's so much money and opportunity that get thrown our way that we can, like in this day and age, we just be running away from it.
Mhm.
We be running away from it. You know what I'm saying?
But you know why though? I'm not gonna say exactly why to that, but something else that this just made me think of is the internet shows you what's possible. It shows you what you could have, but it don't always show you how to do it. Like yes, there's tutorials, whatever, but like what I mean by that is like when you consuming these videos, let's say you see 19 Keys doing whatever and blah blah blah, or you know, maybe you into fashion and you see this girl who's become a fashion influencer and now she's getting $1 million deals. That's what you see first. You just see the video of her putting on the clothes and talking to you, whatever. You're like, you got to think about how you have to dig deeper and find the videos where she's telling you how she even did that in the first place so that now you can replicate it. You can use it as a model to build your own. And I feel like so many kids, they see the glitz and glam part, they see the feel good part, but then when they do figure out like, oh, damn, I actually have to like this is hard. Like I actually have to work to do this. That's where we go left, you know? And it's like, it's cool. It's so much easier to just do X, Y, and Z.
So in a nutshell, not take accountability
Yeah, you ain't trying to do shit. You ain't trying to work.
to do it. So don't complain when you don't see the results. Like I look always like to even throw the Cole Bennett situation. So many people in Black Chicago hip hop complains about Cole Bennett as a culture vulture. Oh, Cole Bennett did this. He shoot video. He should do this or this. They complain about that point, but didn't understand like he had the same assets and probably minimum than y'all got.
Mm-hmm.
Cole just did the work, put the plan together, got with his homies, and we did this shit. Kind of similar to what we doing here. Like how you say when we talk about a cruise and the different young people that's doing something to make a shit move, they were friends, like-minded individuals that liked this stuff, got together and saw the end game. No one cared about it's Cole is the name that everybody know. If he's a millionaire making bread, you
Mm-hmm.
don't think the rest of his team is them rest of them 24, 25-year-olds ain't making at least $100,000 a year for doing lyrical lemonade shit? When they extra their other counterparts was when they was 19, 20, was in school, sweating, mad, they gotta go to accounting to be a pre-nurse, but you kicking it with the rappers, just blogging and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cause y'all came together as a crew, took accountability, and had a plan. Our coaches just be mad because they don't know how to monetize off the culture. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take accountability to that shit. So that's why when we goes back to earlier just being mean and shit, like nah, it ain't about being mean. It's just really just saying what it is. Like, no, this didn't get done because you didn't do it. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Did you Google? You know what I'm saying? But that comes off as mean. But like literally, I don't know how to do this.
The only reason that came off as mean is it's not what you say, it's how you say it. That's one. But two, like your point is valid. Like I'm not arguing the point because I agree. And I think it's also about you can't start somebody else. Like that's what I was saying about the onboarding stage. I think anybody on the team right now, asking them, did you Google something or did you look at it this way? Did you try yourself before you came to me with this problem? Is a valid question. Because everybody on the team has been here long enough where you should know figure it out in this scenario because we've already established a rapport where like if you really can't, then like we all know what each other's doing is what I'm trying to say. But if you have a new team member and it's week one, maybe you pay attention to the fact they ain't think to Google it or whatever, like the one who did, like whatever, cool. And hopefully they did. They should take initiative. That's what you're looking for. But before you ask me, did I Google some shit? Did you even set the precedent that hey, when we have a new software, here's your guide on how to get through it. Here's how to do it. And if you have any questions, make sure you've exhausted all your resources before you come ask me. Because they might be coming from a space of like it's this expectation that you have people just supposed to know shit. Like even the brightest person sometimes is still a human. You know what I mean? And I could advocate for myself because me and you have had plenty of conversations where you feel like, City, you ain't even have to ask me that. You could have Googled it. But bro, maybe I have 1,000 things on my mind. Like in that moment, you might make me feel small. You know what I mean? You might make me feel like, damn, like I might be capable of this job because this nigga just came at me about Googling some shit. And in your mind, it might not have been that it might not have been that deep. You might still remember, well, I know Cindy's very bright and blah, 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 but she tweaking. But that's not how you related to me. You related to me like me asking you for help was just like the damnedest thing, and I must clearly be dumb.
Cindy,
and it's like, no, you know what I mean?
If you finna go look for, if you wanted to go to New York right now, right?
Don't do that, Cody. I know what lane you about to go down, but affirm what I'm saying before you.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying,
and I do understand.
And Cindy, if you're not, we're not taking this personal.
I'm not taking it personal.
If a person is finna go to New York, if you want to go to New York, if the average person you know, like right now, I'm like, I'm trying to go to New York. I want to plan a trip to New York. What's the first thing they gonna do? What's the first thing they gonna do?
It depends on the person. The average person is gonna Google. There's other people that's gonna think to hit up their friend. Damn, you went to New York. Where did you stay? What did you think? Like, so
the first thing they're gonna do is Google flights, right? If you want some new shoes, you want to know when some shoes came out. Right? This is our culture, like we just keep it right simple. Just keep it plain and simple. Don't add no extra element because we just do day-to-day shit. If you want to know when these new Jordans come out, what's the first thing you gonna do?
But you know what's the problem with the examples that you've given?
What
as well is that's some shit that I can easily think to find them on because I'm probably used to finding it on my own. When I come and I work for your company and I'm in a foreign environment and I'm using software, no, how you shaking your head? I didn't even finish my statement.
Because you're trying to combat. You're trying to combat, okay. And not listening.
You have people in the comments talking about they agree, but I'm trying to combat.
You combating? Who in the comments say they agree?
You're literally combating me. I don't know. Maybe that was.
If it's Shay, I love Shay to death. Shay
problematic right there. Like still value.
Wrong example that you could use for that.
That's the wrong example. I tell she need to go Google shit all the time too. Stop asking.
That's the wrong example.
But it doesn't mean her feelings are invalid.
No, I'll never say nobody's feelings are invalid because you can't. Feelings will never be right or wrong. But yeah, Shay can't tell me that. If it's somebody else, Shay can't tell me that. Because Shay the type of person will give you rules on how to do some shit, put the ideas in your head, and then the next week he forgot all about the shit. And it's like, gee, you the one just brought this to my attention.
You and Shay are the same person. I don't.
So Shay I can't go with that. Shay, I love Shay. Shay my girl, but Shay, she be messing with my anxiety. She probably one of the only few people in this world that can mess with my anxiety. Cause she's time, gaslight. It started making you thinking like, damn, hold on, did I do nah? Cause that's my G though, but she be like, her mind be in so many places. I give her grace,
and that's my point. When your mind, I give grace. Don't get me wrong. But that's my point. When somebody's mind is 1,000,000 places, you work on a team for the creatives. You work on this. You work on that. There's a way to kindly, with grace, maneuver them. Hey, remember to check Google before you ask me. It's not like you be saying that shit mean and attitudinal. You know what I mean? Like your frustration, can't always show when it's a trigger. I get how it's a trigger because I voiced my frustrations to you, to Shay, to whoever I got them with. I'm gonna tell you, you stressing me the hell out.
So first of all, 9 times out of 10 is when somebody's asking me a question, it's through a text message. So you can't even express frustration. All I'm doing is
this is where we're gonna move on because now you're about to start gaslighting me.
I'm about to send a message. I'm just saying
we're not gonna do that. Because I'm just talking about face-to-face interaction. We can take texting out of it, Cody.
Right, okay. So when they say face-to-face interaction, all this is all I'm saying is for our people and just general anything with our people, you have the resources.
They finna kick us off
around here. What's the buzz? Make sure you subscribe. What's the word? And do your Googles on how to follow us.
Well, yeah, damn. I didn't realize we was nearing the limit. We gotta,
Let's do a live recording.
no.